People called me street baby. I was not alone. My little brother James was with me, and I was responsible for him. I thought every child's bed could be a tire some nights, and other nights, if I were lucky, my bed could be a mat at the local homeless shelter. Even as a little kid, I was determined to survive life on the streets and to do it with my little brother safely by my side. I had no idea that my life was any different from the average child's life. The only thing that kept me going was my little brother. I had to make sure that he was safe, though I was only 10. He was only 6. I watched out for him and made sure that everyone knew no one messed with my brother. Life likes to throw surprises at me. This time it was a good one.
What led us to consider adoption was we had our third child was graduating from high school, and we were thinking there's got to be more meaning to our life.
It just couldn't be all there was. That you go to work every day, you come home, we had a nice house, we made a good living, but it couldn't see the rest of our lives being that's all we did. We found out about Michael and James through an email that our Gladney caseworker sent to us.
I had to think about getting James and I to school. So I had to think about walking him over there. And usually walking him over there meant I would miss my bus to school. So I would have to walk all the way to my school. I think I was late most of the time, but most of my teachers didn't say anything about it. After school, go back the same route, pick James up, go back home and have to think about food for the day, what we're gonna be doing, and all that kind of stuff.
The school had contacted CPS because the boys were coming to school dirty, apparently hungry. Quote, "The children have been seen walking the streets late at night. They are currently staying at the Salvation Army shelter. Last week, Michael came to the Boys and Girls Club with a black eye, and he said that he got it when he was playing basketball. The only thing he had eaten all day was a pickle. They do not have very many clothes, and the clothes they do have are filthy. The mother has mentioned her alcohol and drug problem, but does not want to clean up." There was a story that's relayed in the narrative because we saw the CPS file, and it talked about Michael the night that he went into foster care. And it said that Michael was fine in terms of how he was behaving until he found out that he was going to go to a foster care in a different city. And it said he just started sobbing because he wanted to know whether he was still going to be in the gifted and talented classes in his new school. In the midst of all this chaos of his life, that what he valued was excelling at school and just making something of himself.
Thank you. Well, today's Wednesday's Child Report focuses on two brothers who are very close, but they have very different personalities.
Things started turning around for us with the Wednesday's Child interview. Them kind of really telling us that we were probably going to get adopted, and so that was kind of a turning point for James and I.
When we saw that Wednesday's Child, there are two moments that stick out for me. The one with Michael is when he talked about what he wants from a family, and he said he just wanted to be taken care of, and he wanted a family to take care of him, and it just broke my heart. And then the other thing that stood out about James, both at the time and then when we became acquainted through James and his file, but there's this scene in the Wednesday's Child right at the very end where he's kind of skipping down this ramp, and my heart broke. I mean, the combination between that little skip and that desire of Michael to have a family, it just swept us up.
And we were moving into an area that we were I felt unprepared for. I had no experience with. And I think the biggest surprise is sort of despite those concerns and insecurities, it's been far simpler than I would ever have thought it was going to be.
Felt good for me. It was fun to just kind of, again, become a kid. I would get involved in more and more stuff. Started basketball, started music, started getting involved in a lot more stuff.
He was just a good, fine boy, and he had so many choices, right? I mean, his circumstances, he could be bitter, he could be entitled, he could be angry, and instead he is focused on how can I be better, and he's focused on doing it quietly, and I'm proud of that, and I love him for that.
When I think about where I was to where I am, I think both have kind of an impact on my life because I am able to tell my story and relate to others who may be in the same situation. But now I am able to have opportunities that I would not have been able to. The way people could make change is to have a voice. If adoption is something that you're very passionate about, you should do it, but you should also tell people about it. I am no longer primarily known as a toddler who lived on the streets. I have not only survived, I have thrived. James is safely with me. I am bound for college, and these days people just call me my home.